Okay, so let's try it. I believe this is a G shape because if you have an A shape in short patterns, if you start on a D shape, it's not good to look at patterns as chord shapes. So I knew I was getting into kind of fuzzy territory over here. So it's really not right to put chord shapes to patterns. But let's look at it. We're starting at the D here. Suffice it to say, we're going to move the pattern up from the 1 to get the 4th, and then we're going to go back to the 1 pattern and move it down and put the 2nd string on the bottom. Now this string that comes in is the 5th of the G shape. Okay? Oh, okay, wait a second now. That isn't the shape. That is the 5th of the C shape. Aha, that's what I was saying. So this is the 5th of the C shape, which is the G shape. So this stuff can get a little complicated if you sit on your laurels. Well, let's see how it works a little bit here. So here's the root pentatonic would go, then to that 5/6, then warping up that root 2. Okay, now we move that pattern up 1, we'd get the 4th. We only got 5 strings up that, but we're going to replace that bottom with a long 3rd down there, a minor 3rd, so it goes. Okay, and then the 5th now, we're going to move this pattern down, and we start on the 5th there. So that's a G shape on top. So in short patterns, you'd get the D shape, and then you get the 4th of the D shape, which would be the G shape, and then you'd get the 5th of the G shape, which is A shape. But look at how far down I'm playing. We want to play the long pattern, so we want to get the pattern straight here. So the pattern really goes in the long patterns. Let's try that one more time. And then so that was nasty. And I'm sorry I'm not really whipping those off, but if I was, I go learn it anyway. I mean, I do that. The things that I've memorized. This is what I'm learning. I'm learning it along with you. So really have to stop looking at the numbers and just play the pattern. So how do we break this down and say, how am I going to remember this pattern? How am I going to remember this pattern without this big long stack of notes here? You can look at the S3AXL. Okay, the root pattern is just 5/6, root 2, 3, 5/6. That's all it is. All right, that is the pentatonic. The diatonic on that root pattern, starting from the G. Here's your E. Okay, the third of C. Here's the G. It says 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But pentatonically, you just remember this. That's the pentatonic, and that is the shape you're going to play every time, no matter where you play it. That's the point to remember. So when you put it together, and then let's look at the S4E, because these two guys right here are the long pattern pairs. These two are the long pattern pairs. I would circle them out, but I want to move the chart after that. So it's just the S3AXL and the S4E. These two guys are the long pattern pairs. Now let's look at the S4E. It's just an E string shape. It's half whole, half whole, whole half, whole half. That's all the S4E is. E string shape. Okay. Fifth of E is C string shape. Fifth of C is G string shape. Fifth of G is D string shape. Okay, that's all it is. Now, pentatonically, it looks like an E pentatonic scale. Just coincidentally. So that's the scale you're going to play. So if we start that long pentatonic here, we go, and then we have to do this. Now play that E by hitting the warp. Now what happened when that E hit the warp? It became a G shape. Why? Because where we started the E here, we started the E string shape here, then we look at the magic circle. We start an E string shape. Alright, now we're going to go backwards magic circle. 2 from the top would be C to G right there. That's why it played into a G. Okay? Believe me. So that's how the magic circle helps us. So where were we? Where were we? I forgot where we were. Oh yeah, the patterns. So all you have to do is remember the pentatonics and the diatonics of these two patterns for the longs, and for the shorts, it's going to be these two patterns. So no matter what, and then the pentatonic. So this is an S3S with just the pentatonic middle. Okay, that's like the bottom of a D shape. 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. 2, 3, 5, 6, root 2. Root 6, 5, 3, 2. Okay, and then to the wide pattern, to the long pattern. 3, 5, 6, root. So you can put these on top of one another either way. This on top of that, on top of that, on top of that, infinitum. Because if you look at it, 7 root 2 goes to 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7 root goes to 2, 3, 4. Over here, same thing on these two guys. 4, 5, 6 goes to 7 root 2. 2, 3, 4 goes to 5, 6, 7. You can stack them any way. The rest of it's just positioning. So once you know, half the battle is know which pattern you want to play. The other half is where you're going to put it. Is there a tuning warp there that's going to confuse you? Where does it go? You know, so that you have the intervals correct. So the 7 root 2 goes 5, 6, or 7 goes over the C. Okay, because the fourth of F sharp is B.